You not get in my way, you cannot drop in my lane. Tires is burning the pain, you don't have nothing to say.
Every time David steps in the ring, I'm very concerned for the opponents, you know, the sparring partners, but at the end of the day, we have to do it, you know? You know, these guys are taking a lot of punishment, but we gotta be at our best November 22nd. This is a fight.
What's up, guys? I just want to wish everybody happy holidays. We're right here back in the gym. We got our next upcoming fight against Zurdo Ramirez, Cinco de Mayo weekend, and you know, I'm gonna give you guys a little preview of what's gonna happen. Feel good. I'm very excited going up to capture two more titles. So I'm very excited, man. Cruiserweight will coming. So May 2nd, tune in, baby.
Recuerden, amigos, no se les olvide, 5 de mayo, el monstruo mexicano regresa a Las Vegas, Nevada. Zurdo Ramirez, 2 títulos. No se lo pierdan.
David Benavidez is preparing for a major opportunity on May 2nd during Cinco de Mayo weekend, where he'll face Gilberto Zurdo Ramirez in a high-stakes matchup. A victory in that bout could make Benavidez a champion in 3 different weight classes, adding another milestone to his career.
We need more now. I like to.
Not a sparring. You want to spar David? That's what you're gonna do. Either you get better or you're just gonna get hurt.
I got the feel of my veins. Trust me, I'm making a name. We are not one and the same. I am on top of the game. I cut out the line on my brakes, and that's why the drive is insane. Heart of a champ, adrenaline rushes is numbing the pain. I just been bringing the heat. I just been bringing the.
So right now we're at the boxer gym, the main gym. We got some sparring in. It's a good opportunity to show the fans some good boxing. You know, at the end of the day, if they get excited to see me, I give them some rounds and I leave them wanting for more. So, you know, people are definitely gonna tune into the fight. So I'm able to perform in front of the fans before the fight. We had a great day, did some good sparring, and yeah, man,
Working in our camp, everything's going well, super excited, motivated, and everything's going super good. We're almost like about 2 months away from the fight, and no cuts, no injuries, everything's going as planned. I think we're ahead of the plan, and super excited, super happy with everything that's going on.
Despite entering the fight as the favorite, David Benavidez isn't easing up in preparation, continuing to grind in camp and showing why the Mexican monster is considered one of boxing's most dangerous fighters, with his speed and power on full display. But the challenge ahead won't be simple, because Gilberto Zurdo Ramirez stands in the way, motivated to prove himself under the bright lights at the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas, while defending his WBA and WBO cruiserweight titles, and looking to deliver a huge upset on fight night.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. Play tough, and I hate this, I'll show up.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up.
Cambio.
I think he will do great because he's a big guy, he's strong. It's interesting to see him in 175. I mean, I want to see him with the best, and I think he can be a world champion. He's my friend, but in the ring, we want to fight with the best, right? And he's one of the best, and I want to fight with the best too. It will be exciting in the ring because it's two Mexicans in the ring. I mean, it's exciting, and I have a lot of respect for him, for his family, the dad, and I know them, all of them will be training for so many years, but I mean, we agreed to fight each other, but eventually I think will happen.
Come on, Zurdo, let's go! Time.
As impressive as Zurdo Ramirez is, he presents a serious test for David Benavidez, using his size and technical skill to create challenges even without matching David's speed or power. Still, Benavidez has faced similar styles before and brings the experience needed to handle that kind of opposition, while making sure he's fully prepared for what's ahead. Their history adds even more intrigue, as the two shared rounds in sparring years ago when Benavidez was much younger. And at their recent press conference, the Mexican monster reflected on those sessions while explaining why a showdown between them always felt destined to happen.
10 years ago, you were a teenager, you would go to the Rock Gym, you were training at Hill Street in Long Beach. Every now and then you'd go to the gym in Carson, and Zurdo was training there with his former team. He'd walk in, and I remember Randy Robles telling me, Beto, eventually one day those two are gonna get at it. I'm like, but man, they're not the same size. He goes, oh, they will be one day. I can't believe we're here at the cruiserweight division, but you hear them both talk about it. We've all seen the pictures of them sparring, and like sparring is sparring. But David, you knew eventually that one day this was going to happen. Why did you know it was gonna happen?
Because he's a top fighter. He's a great fighter as well. And I just seen into the future. I was helping him get ready for Arthur Abraham. And we had some great sparring sessions. He was champion for a while. Then he went up to 175. Then he went up to cruiserweight. So I knew Zurdo was going to be one of those fighters that's going to be there for a long, long time.
Both fighters spoke about the historic importance of their showdown, stressing what it means for two Mexican warriors to headline Cinco de Mayo weekend. Benavidez pointed to the legacy built on that date by icons like Chavez and Oscar de la Hoya, saying great fighters never chose the easy road and viewing this matchup as a defining opportunity to establish himself as the face of boxing, with both men's legacies on the line. Ramirez shared that same mindset, praising Benavidez.
He had one loss against Bivol. So I knew eventually we're going to do this. I didn't think we were going to do it in cruiserweight, but shit, it's even better for me. I'm very excited. I think a fight at cruiserweight between me and Zurdo Ramirez is going to be, we're going to be able to showcase both of our talents. We're going to be able to show it, like we're not going to be wagering and nothing like that. So it's going to be an even better fight. So I'm very excited.
Why move up to cruiserweight?
Because there was nothing else for me at 175 right now. I could have sat down and waited on the sidelines and wait for Bivol to have his tune-up and then another fight. But like I said, I'm not interested in that. I've been professional 13 years. I've been wanting to get the biggest title, the biggest fights possible. I've been denied a couple times. This was the other biggest fight on the map. Zurdo accepted it like that. So big shout out to him. I'm just, like I said, I want to make my own lane. I want to achieve greatness, and this is the only way to do it.
So all those years of sparring, and you saw him when he was a teenager growing up, you might have said, okay, one day maybe, but did you think that this fight would happen?
I knew that it will happen eventually, and right now is the dream come true because all the sparring, all the session that we did, and we knew each other. We knew that one day we will fight, and this is the right moment, like he said, because 200 will not be a cutting weight or nothing. It be like natural, like those days in sparring.
One thing about it, as Oscar's talked about, Samson's talked about, the Cinco de Mayo weekend is special. I know, David, for you want to have that legacy, but there's something special about fighting that weekend? How important is it for you to put on that show?
It's very important for me because, you know, for the whole history of the Cinco de Mayo fights, it's been tremendous fighters like Oscar, Julio Cesar Chavez, putting on great fights. Not only just great fights, there were wars because they were paired up fights. You know, they didn't take no easy fights. So I think this is symbolically, this is what it symbolizes. May 5th symbolizes two warriors, and now it's even more special because it's two Mexican warriors going at it for a title. You know what I mean? I feel like I'm at the cusp of taking the face of boxing, and Zurdo Ramirez, he's if he beats me, you know what I mean, his stock goes up. So there's greatness on the other side of that tunnel for both of us. So we're gonna come extremely prepared.
Zurdo, for you, fighting that week, I mean, you fought all over the world. You've had some big fights, but this one is special because it's fighting David Benavidez, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the monster. Before I call him the different, el asesino, because I saw him when he sparred different guys. He beat him up all the time, and I was like, okay, it'd be a good fight eventually one day. And right now, at the May 5th, La Batalla de Puebla, two warriors, we're making history.
During the press conference, David Benavidez's promoter Samson Lukovic reflected on how their partnership began, recalling that he first heard about the young fighter after Benavidez dominated sparring in the Virgin Islands. Even without seeing him compete in an official fight, Lukovic trusted his instincts and signed him, later helping fulfill a promise that Benavidez would become the youngest super middleweight champion. He also spoke with pride about the Benavidez family and the decade-long journey they've shared, pointing to David's discipline, including his willingness to move through different weight classes when needed, as a major reason for their lasting success and the historic milestones they've achieved.
And you signed him. What did you see about him when you said, I want him to work with me?
Well, in this case, it was not really only me. He went to spar in St. Thomas, Virgin Islands, and I have the Jackson brothers, and he beat the shit out of him. So Tony from Virgin Islands said, listen, we need to take this kid. I say, look, I know you for so long, but I have trust on you. I used to do a lot in the Virgin Islands. So I spoke with Jose, and we come to an agreement, but I never saw him before. But in the first time, then I make my, I work my secret, how to get the best. And until now, I believe I didn't make a mistake because the first fight, he was in Showtime. I say that we have a future champion in 168, and I promised to him that he'd be the youngest one. Now, in the beginning of his career, in the first fight, he told me, let's do it 175 pounds. You remember?
It was 180.
180.
I told you 180.
So he called me up, he said, the lawyer, our friend David Garcia, he said, can we make the fight 185? I said, no, I just canceled the show. I just canceled the fight. You need to come and do whatever he agreed with. He come less of that. And I believe that is the reason that he followed my lead for so many years, that he be almost 10 years together. And he went to 168. He said, no, 75. I can go to 60. I know that. And I'm so proud of him and the father and the whole family, because we accomplished so much in such short time that I'm so proud and hope that
David Benavidez heads into this fight as the clear favorite, with his experience and accomplishments in the sport making him the pick for many observers. A number of experts share that view, believing Zurdo Ramirez faces a difficult task against the Mexican monster. Gabe Rosado recently added his perspective from having sparred both fighters, noting he has worked with Benavidez since he was just 15 years old. He described a contrast in their styles, with Benavidez relying on pressure, intensity, and non-stop aggression, while Ramirez tends to focus more on technical adjustments in camp. Rosado leans toward Benavidez in this matchup, pointing to his higher output and relentless pressure as key advantages.